Do you know that your mindset is a habit? Your sense of personal power is a habit. The quality of your relationships is an outcome of your interpersonal habits. Your net worth is based on your money habits. Your business success is built on your entrepreneurial habits. Your ability to create everything you desire is directly related to your habits. So I'm glad you're here right now listening to the Max Potential Habits podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Amanda Barrientez, the founder of NFA Coaching, and every week I'll bring you tips, tools, and inspirational interviews that will help you learn how to cultivate strategic habits that will set you up to be a NFA habits master so you can create the life and business of your dreams on your terms. Now let's get to it. Do you ever just feel like quitting, like giving up, throwing in the towel, calling it a day, a month, a year, and moving in a different direction because you're tired of not getting the results that you want to get? I've been there too. Everyone's been there. If you're an entrepreneur and you're building a business, or if you're taking on a new exercise routine, or if you're trying to shift your habits in a relationship, or if you're taking on some sort of new adventure and you're in the middle of the hardest part, sometimes we feel like quitting. And that's what we're going to talk about today, what to do when you feel like quitting. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. If you're new here, this is your place to learn max potential habits that will help you thrive in your life and business. It is my joy, my inspiration, my drive to bring you tips every week that are going to help you grow. And the reason that I wanted to talk to you about this topic this week is because I am burnt out. And I am usually the person that everybody comes to for inspiration. I'm a coach, so that makes a lot of sense. And I have a lot of energy, and I tend to make big goals and work on them until I achieve them. And I often set goals that are too much to complete in a short period of time. So I noticed myself lately feeling a little bit overloaded, and I woke up the last few days feeling off. And luckily, I'm leaving for a vacation tomorrow. So that's awesome because it's perfect timing for me to take a break. But something I think that's really interesting is that I have a tendency to push and see the end and want to get there. And then I notice too late in the game that it's time to take a break. So I really wanted to talk to everyone this week about what to do when you feel like quitting, because there's been some stuff in the last few weeks in my business. I've made some big pivots in directions that I'm taking in my business, and it's a new learning curve, and things aren't happening as quickly as I want them to, and I've noticed myself getting frustrated. And it might be a little dramatic to say like, oh, I feel like quitting, because ultimately that is absolutely not where my mindset is. I am not a quitter. I tend to set a goal and make it happen. Sometimes there is a time to quit, and sometimes there's not a time to quit. If all of you listening are taking on a new project that you think is really important to you, don't quit. Stay committed. Persevere. I looked up I know we know the meaning of the word perseverance, but I love definitions. So the word perseverance means persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Synonyms: determination, resolve, resolution, staying power, firmness of purpose. I love all of this because the truth is, if you feel like you want to quit and you feel like you don't want to continue on anymore, you've got to persevere. If it's something you really want in your life and business, you've got to persevere. You've got to decide to stay on course in your purpose. And I want to give you 4 tips today to help you overcome your feeling of wanting to quit, however temporary it may be. The first one, I want you to reconnect with your why. And what does that mean, really? It means, why did you start doing your business in the first place? Why did you take on this physical fitness challenge? Why did you step into this new relationship or decide to reinvigorate an old relationship? Get in in connection with your why, and it really helps you remember that quitting isn't really what you want to do. We've got to be able to put off pleasure in the moment for long-term gain if we really want to make things happen, because nothing is pleasurable at all points in time. Sometimes there's going to be challenges that come your way, and it's going to make you feel overloaded. The learning curve might be steep, or you might be feeling like overwhelmed in a land of a whole bunch of newness. Maybe your muscles hurt. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've been trying new strategies and they're not working. No matter what those are, if you get reconnected with your why, the meaning and purpose behind why you're doing it in the first place, it will help you reconnect with your purpose and meaning of wanting to stay on course. So obviously the opposite of quitting is staying committed, deciding to take that path no matter what, persevering even in the face of challenge and overwhelm and feeling like you might be burnt out. Okay, take a temporary break. Reconnect with your why. I'm really looking forward to doing that on my vacation this week. I get to, relax. I get to rejuvenate. I get to have reflective time. I get to go inward and remember I love what I'm doing. I've just been doing a lot of it and I've been pushing myself really, really hard. And so reconnecting with my why is very powerful. The second thing I want you to try is reflecting on your successes. So first, reconnect with your why. Second, reflect on your successes. What does this do? I think sometimes we feel like quitting because we forgot why we're doing what we're doing, or because we feel like we aren't getting where we want to go fast enough. So whatever it is that you're taking on, I want you to take a little bit of time to write down in your journal where you've been successful in the past. So has it been in one small area of the project you're taking on? Let's say it's in business. Let's say write down for the last 3 months what you've been successful in. I guarantee you will find it somewhere, because if you feel like quitting because you're being hard on yourself and thinking this is failing, it's not working, it's because you're hyper focusing on the things that aren't working instead of hyper focusing on the things that have worked. So I want you to write it down. Take out a pen and paper and write down where you have been successful, and think of as many as you can come up with, a minimum of 10, because I promise you in the last 90 days you've been successful in some areas of your life or business. Number 3, I want you to practice gratitude. Gratitude is very powerful because gratitude can't live in the same space as frustration, resentment, irritation, overwhelm, because you're focusing your energy and your thoughts on what to be grateful for. It could be that you're grateful that you still have energy to keep going. Could be grateful that you're gonna take a couple days off. It could be that you're grateful for the fact that you can listen to this means that you either have some sort of listening device, so you have that form of privilege. You have ears that work. You have a body that works. You have, if you're building a business, you have all kinds of resources. You have the internet. You have people to reach out to. You've got this community. There are so many things to be grateful for. And if you get stuck in a space of negative self-doubt and you want to quit, focus on the gratitude. For me, it's often focusing on my clients and being grateful for the transformations that I've helped them have. So when I get frustrated and stuck, for me, it comes up when I'm trying to do something that's not succeeding fast enough. I'm really impatient when it comes to shifting in a new direction. Anyone who knows me is like, damn, you're impatient. And it's really funny because I think it's a quality that really helps me get places, but it also is a quality that makes me sometimes feel really frustrated. And I'm like, should I just give this up? Should I just quit? Because it's not working. And the truth is, I don't know if it's working yet because I haven't given it enough time to cultivate and foster and stew and brew and turn into what it needs to turn into. So for me, practicing gratitude helps me slow down that process, and it helps me get regrounded and regrouped in what does work. Number 4, focus on doing an inner mentor meditation. I don't know if you've heard of this before. This is a very powerful practice where you step back and you look within and you envision yourself 20 years from now, and you start to cultivate a connection with that person as your inner mentor. We all need an inner mentor and an inner guide because we in the moment sometimes get stuck, but it's really interesting when you focus on yourself 20 years from now, often you know the answer. And you just look at yourself as your most empowered version of yourself. So it's things like asking yourself, what would my most empowered version of myself 20 years from now say to me right now? And the message I've been getting when I do this lately is take a break, let yourself unwind, check out for a few days. You deserve it, and celebrate yourself. Celebrate your victories. Be grateful for all the things you've created this year. Reconnect with your why. I'll come back fully rejuvenated. So for me, that's a really powerful process. So inner mentor meditation, very, very powerful. And when I say meditation, it's taking the time to have mindfulness and consciousness about connecting with the most empowered version of yourself and imagining yourself 20 years from now. What advice would you give yourself if you felt like quitting right now? What advice would you give yourself to stay encouraged, stay in the game, and nurture yourself through all of the wins that you've already had, and celebrate yourself for that? So those are my 4 tips for today. I'm on vacation this week. Yeah. I hope you have an incredible NFA day where you thrive and feel alive. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you're liking this podcast, help spread the word by subscribing, sharing, leaving a rating and a review. To connect, go to nfacoaching.com, where you can join the Max Potential Habits community and get access to all of my free and paid resources. There's daily inspiration on Instagram, IGTV videos, access to the Max Potential Habits LinkedIn group, and links for working with me in the live weekly Max Potential Habits online group training, the NFA Money Magnet Habits online course, and if you're really serious about taking it to the next level, you can also schedule a Max Potential coaching consult. Until next time, I hope you have a NFA day where you thrive and feel alive.